US dollar, Canadian dollar technical analysis. Buyers hold above key MAs. Eyes shift back toward 1.447 to 1.
Euro US dollar price forecast. Concerns about Trump's tariffs spur fears.
Euro US dollar drops as German inflation cools down in March. US dollar Swiss franc technical analysis. Key resistance at 0.8280.848. Caps upside for now. Futures pointing to sharply lower open on Wall Street. DAX falls to a key trend line as risk-off flows dent global equities. U.S. natural gas prices bounce after recent losses. Warmer weather weighs.
Futures point to lower Wall Street open amid tariff concerns. Pound sterling gains while Trump sets to unveil reciprocal tariffs. U.S. dollar flat, while Trump's reciprocal tariffs hit equities and bonds.
All right, 1 minute. Yeah. Turn me up, turn me up. Here we go again. Bring the noise. Hey, good morning, everybody. Guten Morgen. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of more than 21,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance, because trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. All right, time for a news update. Anything going on in the world? What about the calendar? U.S. dollar passed over with traders looking for safe haven coverage of Trump's reciprocal tariffs.
Hungary trade surplus shrinks in February.
So inflation in Europe, in particular Germany, was lower than expected. What? Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Well, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. So you kind of want to look at euro dollar. Right now it's at 108.14, down 0.13% for the day. Oh, yeah. Great. Nothing on the calendar for another 8 hours and 42 minutes. Nothing big anyways. And that's when we get Aussie PMI. And then a couple hours after that, or a few hours, 3 hours after that, you're going to get Aussie retail sales. So some Aussie action today, most likely. You guys okay with that? Okay, there's a big move here on Aussie yen. So be ready for a pullback. You see the pattern over here. Just because it has been falling down doesn't mean it'll continue. You should be prepared for that. It's already done it. So be prepared for a pullback. That is some good ginger and kale, pineapple, and coconut water. Yeah. I hope you reviewed the Commitment of Traders report. There's some big numbers up there today. Well, Friday is when it came out. We did that during our fundamental meeting earlier this morning. Also need to do my, well, there's a couple of things. I need to do my quarterly update, and I need to do it a little bit earlier. So usually we do this Wednesday after non-farm payrolls. I'm going to need to do that, did I say before? Wednesday after non-farm payrolls. But I think I need to do it this week. I have to double, triple, quadruple confirm, but I think I'm out of town next week. So I might have to move it to Thursday. Thursday. So please keep your eyes and your ears peeled for an email. I'll update you once I have a solid decision made. And then also, I'd like to invite you to register for non-farm payrolls. We have a special event on Friday. that'll give you the link to the live stream. Looking at prices rolling on by here. Pound yen stabilized. Kiwi is quite weak. WTI kind of flattish. We tested that 70 level. Didn't move much since then. Jump around to the scalping radar. See if anything's going on. Hey, Forex, give me patterns with 75% chance of success. None. Huh. Well, Hills Bills. Huh. Not very strong market, huh? How about stock indices? Down for Dow, down for FTSE. And that's at even 60%, although they're both 76, so I can change this. Give me 75% or greater, same thing. But notice all the things that didn't appear here. Yeah. But it shows weakness in the market, doesn't it? And I'd say in particular FTSE, because I see it almost as a lower low, lower high, lower low projection. So anyways, I hope you sign up for the event on Friday. This takes 2 seconds to RSVP. Already did some fundamentals, so I won't do too many. We'll just kind of do a sentiment gauge here. Oh yeah, look at that. Finally, this market opened. So earlier, I had suggested this might drop below 4.2. So it dropped significantly, dropped 1% since then, and maybe on its way to my target. I don't know. But look at this. The stock market decline is global. Everybody took a beating. Pretty much the last day of the month. Oh. Now, obviously, excuse me, I'm choking on my coffee. Obviously, this has to do with Liberation/Isolation Day on Wednesday. S&P 500 down, gold up. Yeah, make a sense. So what did you guys say in the poll? Some of you guys are risk on. Interesting. How do you get to that? That's interesting. Yeah, some of you are very risk on and very risk on and risk on. 42%. Huh. All right. I'm not sure how you get to that conclusion. I guess you're guessing. I mean, if we just look at weekly here, volatility is up. Options traders are buying puts. Gold is up on inflationary worries. Yen is up because the Japanese stock market just dropped 4% today. Dollar's flat. Yeah. S&P 500 is down 3.34% in a week. Yeah. Down 6.69% for the month. Not the month, over a month, over the last 30 days. So, So if you're, for those that are risk on or even very risk on, you're kind of out there on the edge. Not sure how you got that strong, that bullish, because that doesn't seem to be what's happening in the other markets. Now remember, these are not opinions. This is volatility. This is the options market. So by analyzing 1 million options, okay, well, right now, they are risk off. Now, maybe you're saying, well, it's going to turn. Yeah, well, you're early. You're betting it's going to turn. And maybe you're right, but I think you're early. Okay. I mean, maybe after the turn, maybe, you know? Oh, interesting. I already did COT, so you should have gone through it already. I haven't done this one in a while. Okay, retail is heavily long FTSE and silver. Huh? The poor man's gold. Meanwhile, institutions very long gold and silver as well. Retail seems to be off on gold. I guess retail's already bearish. It hit an all-time high, so okay. Peter says, is risk off when U.S. dollar is strong? Generally, yes. Okay, going back to Peter's comment. So if we look at the weekly evaluation, dollar is flat. Yeah. So that is true. You know, in a scenario like what we're facing, generally, usually, Peter, dollar would be strong. So that poses a question, why is it not strong now? And that's for you to figure out. But at least you know something is off. Are investors not willing to buy treasuries? Well, they are buying treasuries. Yields are down on the 10-year, and yields are down on the 2-year, but not dramatically. So where are they putting their money? Well, we know the stock market's come down, S&P 500's come down, but they didn't. Okay? So put it this way. S&P 500 fell, and they took some of that money and they bought treasuries, and treasury yields fell. Makes sense. Okay? Stocks down, bonds up. But because the dollar hasn't strengthened, it doesn't seem like foreigners are buying U.S. treasuries. So is it tariffs? Is it debt levels? Is it, well, it's not the carry because right now, the United States is the carry trade. You should like borrow Swiss franc and buy US dollar and collect the swap. That's what we call a carry trade. So foreigners are incentivized to put their money in dollar, but they're not. And I got the proof. So it's kind of interesting. By the way, if you forget, risk off, risk on. So that answers your question, the general correlation. A lot of PMI stuff coming out this week. A lot came out last week as well. Okay, very intensive on PMIs. Just kind of eyeballing through this. I've looked at all the super important events, and then there's kind of like informative events. So Aussie retail sales, great, great, great. RBA interest rate decision, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a big deal. Yeah. But what else going on here? Look at PMI, 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 PMI. European inflation. Okay. PMI, PMI, PMI. So there's the update to the U.S. manufacturing PMI. United States, later in the week, we have our JOLTS and we have ISM PMI for manufacturing. And services will be out there somewhere, out there in the world. So lots and lots and lots of PMI. Aussie trade balance, that's a good one in particular for Aussie. And that's a good reflection on what's going on in China. So that's another good one. And then way out here on Thursday, PMI, 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 PMI. Okay. Challenger Christmas in Gray. That one is often overlooked. I like to include it. Canadian trade balance. United States imports and exports. Well, this is important, right? Because we're trying to calculate future GDP. Who cares about GDP 3 months ago? How about now? Well, you need X minus M. Okay. And then here, right, way out on Thursday, you got US ISM services. Okay, huge, right? And then, of course, Friday, NFP and kitty cat jobs. Then the rig count. Then way out in Friday afternoon at the market close, we then get the new COT. Once again, on Friday, I'm doing Trade Non-Farm Payrolls Live. That's the link to RSVP. Please do so. Yep. So anyways, interesting week. Gold's still the best thing to focus on. So we were 12s, and now we're 9. So we've hit our target. We're not nearly as bullish as we were before, but it still exists, huh? Okay, a risk-off move going on. Okay. Next level, Dow 40,000. Does that look about right? Pretty close to Dow 40,000. Yeah. Okay. It was a pretty bad week there, huh? Rallied up to the weekly 21 EMA and dropped like a ton of bricks. Oh, God. Yeah. So now we have a double top and lower low. Yeah, not very pretty. Big gap down in Tickety Tech. Huh? Yeah. Got to change this to bearish. Indicators, biased pivots. Be a bear. Be a bear. Okay. And we've already just hit. We just hit the bearish profit target. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're done for the day. Now we got to look at it for weekly. Okay. So we're done for the day already. You're logged into New York. And you're like, hey, what are we doing? Everyone else is already taking profit. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, huh? But the ultimate target for the rest of the week is basically sell it off to 21 and take it down to 19,000. Where's it? $18,593.30. Ooh la la. Yeah, not a pretty day. Let's take a look at you want to see something even worse? Yeah. Nikkei. I don't have Nikkei here. Yeah. Anyways. Look at that double top on the ASX. Oh. No, I wanted to look at Nikkei. I have Hong Kong up here. I guess we can just move it over to cover FTSE. Yeah, look at that, huh? 4% just today. -4. So that would bring yen strength. Huh? Look at the collapse Friday, Monday. Oh my God. Oh my God. So that's a huge drop, huh? Look at that. Insane in the membrane. Yeah. Topped out on the monthly central and took a nosedive. Ooh la la. So Japanese yen gets strong in a scenario like that. Yeah. Yep. 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 Maybe a little continue mission action, huh? Look at that. Just that's a long ways down. Look at that. Huh? That's brutal, isn't it? Yep, 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 yep. Okay. Kitty cat. I have it coming down to 90, no, to 100, looks like 142 to 99.24. So yeah, about 100. Okay. And just like everything else, it just seemed to come back and is just Oscar Mike on the move, but this time plausibly a lower low. What do you think? There's a lot of validity in weekly charts, isn't there? I hope this proves to you that this sets up swing trading so you can sell and be short for a month or two, not 20 minutes. Look, I have it all drawn out. Okay. Now it came back quite a bit. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But nonetheless, selling in the direction of the long term trend. Interesting, huh? And you see it coming all the way down. So that's 400 pips below our feet. The next wave. Swing trading, baby. Swing trading. 400 pips below your feet. Okay. And that's just CAD. Aussie's going to do something similar. Kiwi will do something similar. Let's take a look on the daily. Oh my God. I don't just clean this up. Template. Let's do position trading bearish bias. Clean this up a little bit, right? And then go out a little bit in time frame. And look what we did. Up to the 21 EMA, and here we are. Last week, lower high. This week, lower low. Lower high followed by a lower low. Target is 81. We're at 85, so yeah, about the same. 350, 450, somewhere in there. Pips below your feet. But the thing is, not just one trade, there could be multiple trades either on this, or each one of them you build a basket of yen strength. Okay. Yummy. How about euro? Up until target, collapse. Okay. And now what? Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's got to figure out its direction. What about daily? Okay. It's supportive on daily. And weekly is not very helpful at the moment. So I might sell CAD yen. I might sell Aussie yen. I might sell Kiwi yen. I'm not going to sell Euro yen. Oh, good to know. For sure. And look at this sucker, non-directional. So I think in days I feel good about the world, I want to buy pound yen, euro yen. In days I feel bad about the world, I'm going to sell everything else, meaning commodity currency. And you're like, well, why not dollar? Well, we just reviewed that dollar hasn't done much of anything the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Cool, right? I want to look at, let's do gold, oil, and Bitcoin. My, oh my, WTI. Okay. Yeah, I'd like this to go up, 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 up. Up, 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 up. Okay, so we came down, tested the bottom of the channel. See? See? And I have this heading up, but we lack a breakout. So now we have to do the same thing here and connect all this. And hopefully, because I'm a bull, hopefully it goes up, 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 down, down, and buy. Okay, my entry is down here at 66. We're currently at 70. And you would use pivot points to project, or you would take, the old school way is you take the distance from the range. The bottom of the range is 69. Top of the range is 70, so we'd be on our way to 71. Maybe? Yeah, sure. Come on. Yeah, fine. Cool. So we'll let that be. We just broke 70 again. Bitcoin, look at this one. Bitcoin, I thought, had a chance to maintain basically this double bottom with something like that, and then it collapsed. So now what? Yeah, good question. Now what? This price is not pivotal. Okay, 79 and some change is pivotal. So maybe we'll just call it 80 is more pivotal. $80,000. Yeah. Okay. So that actually puts 70,000 into play. Why do I say that? Okay. Top. Okay. Lower high, lower low, roll reversal. Lower high. Okay. So now we have to extend what we see. So that's the longer term strategy. But then if you look at the month of April, okay, this is the projected top if you're a bear. And therefore, this is the projected low if you're a bear. And that's 70,000. We're at 82. So $12,000 down. $12,000 down. Well, when you're at 100,000, that's 12%. What is that? 16%? Oh, that's interesting. I thought I was able to fix that. All right. I thought I fixed that. So it's only for those that are wearing headsets, it's only coming out the left, huh? I thought I had fixed that. Let me see if I can do this now. It'll be easier. Uh, uh, uh. Yeah, I see that, which is, I'm going to try that now, but down mixing to mono. But I think it's more of, so, okay, yeah, good. Um, but I'd rather have it be stereo. Um, but nonetheless, if that makes you happy, a few people have mentioned that. So I'm glad we got that taken care of. If that makes you happier, then great. But I think it's more of a microphone setting. Yeah, I did it over here. Anyways, yeah, I think it's this new sound card. I think it's designed so that I can go left audio left, right audio right. So anyway, so I'll downgrade it. So that makes sense. I see what it's trying to do. Oh, I know another way to test this out. All right, hang on. Let me put it back. No, I want to break it, Maxima. Hang on, hang on. Okay, let's confirm. Now it does not work correctly. Please confirm that it does not work correctly. Huh? Now, terrible. Yeah, very bad. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if this becomes stereo. In sooth, I know not why I am so sad. Is this any different? Is it in stereo now? Stereo. Stereo. No, still? Still lefty, huh? Yeah, I guess because now I'll need two coaxial. Okay. Or two XL, whatever they call it. All right, cool. Well, that was a good experiment. Thank you. I'll turn that part of the sound card off. And now you have, oh, and cool. I see it up here too. Let's see. Left only, both. Okay, cool. Now I see it up here as well. All right, good. Good to know. All right, so yeah, good. Now I can see that it's left and right here. All right. Good. What a neat experiment. And our gold, okay, I had at the beginning of the year, and that reminds me, I have the quarterly outlook, okay? We have the quarterly outlook later this week, but the annual outlook, which we did in early January, my projection for gold was 3,111. Can anybody here confirm that? The conservative target for an out of position gold trade, not my opinion, just technical analysis. Can anybody confirm 3,111? Great. I just want, if it's BS, it's BS. Okay, great. And it's funny because now we're at the end of the quarter and we hit that target today on basically the last day or second last day of the quarter. We've hit it. Cool. So now what? If it wants to continue, and here's the little buy the dip scenario. If it's going to continue, the next one is 3,272. 3,272. Well, it really depends on what happens on isolation day. I mean liberation day. This is an inflation story. People, tariffs equal inflation equals gold. And the other thing I already covered is retail seems to be short gold. Institutions are long gold. I have all the data, so none of that's surprising, right? Yeah. Okay, so right now, we're still bullish on gold. Yeah. Yeah. Fundamentally. I mean, right? There's no need to debate. We're a 9. We used to be a 12, but we're a 9. We're tempering our enthusiasm. That's fine. It's good to know this stuff, huh? What about silver? Is it any different? Yeah, yeah. Of course it's different. We were 9, then we dropped to 3, and then it kind of recovered a little bit. This is macroeconomic scores. These bars are the score when looking at interest rates, jobs, inflation, productivity, statistical trends, seasonality, retail positioning, and institutional positioning. We're at 2 right now. It's not amazing. Gold is better. Okay. Copper kind of all over the place. How about Euro Aussie? Things have changed. This pair, we were very bullish. Wake up in the morning, buy Euro Aussie. And then all of a sudden, something dramatic happened here. Something changed. Obviously, macroeconomics, something changed. And now, look at that. We're neutral. So either Aussie got strong or Euro got weak. This is good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay. The Nikkei. Are we bullish or bearish? Okay, we're bearish. Yeah. We're -1. Oh, is it down 4% today? Yeah, well, we were bearish on Friday. Oh, it was down on Friday. Yeah, well, we were bearish on Thursday. Oh. Oh. Okay, look at that. Technically, it's bearish. Seasonally, it's bearish. Institutions are bears. Like, there's no need to be a master debater here. Okay, it's usually down. It is down, and institutions are selling. And then you go to your weekly charts, right? Like in particular on like some of the yen pairs. On the weekly charts, it's yeah, it's quite clearly an opportunity to sell at resistance. So it's good to have the data is all I'm saying. It's really nice. It's a real nice. You guys want to do some technicals? Who wants to do some technicals? Mm-hmm. Oh, hey JP, I got in concern to your concern. I have a meeting scheduled tomorrow, so I'll let you know around Wednesday. Yep. All right, some technical. All right. All right. All right. You know what? Let's not look at patterns. Let me go back and do this over again. Sorry. Instead of me doing patterns, let's do statistical analysis first, a form of that. Okay, I'll show you how quickly this can be done in your morning routine. Euro dollar down. Oil up. Let's get some way. I need to move this over there and this over there. Okay, it's statistically up. Statistically up. See, there's no pattern here. We're at the 21 simple moving average. I couldn't do it. Okay, up but flat. See, but technically neutral. USD CAD. Oh, whoa. Once again, on the 21 daily simple moving average, but statistically bearish. Oh, and fundamentally bearish. This is fundamentals. This is statistics. The slope of the mean with a linear projection. So if everything stays the same, which it won't, but based on current market conditions, the best case scenario is 142.5 in the next 7 days. Yeah. FTSE. Okay. It was going up, made a lower high, lower low. So you can sell the pullback, right? Best case scenario, way down 85, man, 85, man. How about S&P 500? Are we doing? Oh my God. Lower high, lower lows. Uh-oh, we're below the 20-day moving average. Uh-oh. Statistically, it's bearish with neutral market conditions, but statistically, price time data is bearish. Silver, but silver's going up. Buy the dip. Russell, bearish. Lower lows, sell the rip. Platinum. Yeah, platinum hit a psych level of 1,000. Now what? I don't know. Technically, or sorry, statistically, okay, what we're doing statistically is we're comparing sort of this top with that slope, huh? And that's statistically what is there. So now if you believe that psych level is going to come into play, then you're going to do this. Drop from 1,000 down to 900? Or do you think it's going to go from 1,000 to 1,100? Well, that's your job. But statistically, that's not seen inside the data set. Kiwi dollar, not bullish, not by any stretch of the imagination. Fundamentally, it's neutral. Technically, or once again, statistically, it's bearish. Kiwi yen, fundamentally neutral, statistically bearish. You like this? See, you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about how to make your guess. Statistically, Bitcoin is bearish. Fundamentally, it's neutral. So let's say you are long-term long Bitcoin. That's fine, but it's statistically, your opinion is statistically an outlier. So you'd be guessing. Yeah, I can't confirm up fundamentally, and I can't confirm up statistically. Okay. Once again, use this to show you how it gets to this. Okay. Again, quantitative analysis. Okay. The score on Bitcoin is not bullish. It's neutral. Looking at interest rates, jobs, inflation, productivity. Here's the statistical trend. Statistically, the price time data is bearish. That's that. It's definitely not in line with seasonality. But you might say, well, I'm going to use seasonality to say, well, Bitcoin should be up or is usually up, but it's definitely not up. So now you can think forward and say, well, maybe this new quarter that's starting this week, maybe that's going to change. And maybe we hit the psych level of 80,000 and then it statistically turns bullish. Okay, cool. So you might wait, let it drop to 80, and then see if you can confirm with some technical patterns turning bullish. And therefore, you can get statistical confirmation of the seasonality. Oh, okay. Now, here's the next thing. Okay, what's normal? Let's connect the dots. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, okay. And we already know it's from this period to this period, we're already down, right? Like you can see it in your brain, right? Like we went up to 110,000 and now we're at 80. So we know somewhere around February, March, Bitcoin takes a break. Then there's sort of a rally-ish by the end of April into May, and then a tightening, and then a little drop. Oh, so risk on. Let's do it this way. Let me just say it. Risk on. No. Risk on. Off. Okay. You might call that on again. I would say continued off until about here. I mean, there's some waves to it, right? But this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what actually happened January to February. And then there was a rally. And then we know somewhere around March, April, there could be a significant decline. Yeah, we've had that. So now in the next, I don't know, let's say 2 to 4 weeks, there should be a recovery and then it fizzles out. So are we going back to 110,000? That's not what this says. Yeah. Week 7 were 2 standard deviations above the mean. What does that mean? So double check. So we're what, week 13, week 14? We're somewhere at the bottom here. And statistically or seasonally, that's usually kind of where we bottom out and then move sideways for a long period of time, then down for 4 or 5 weeks, and then up. Okay, so we're in this. Um, we start the year hot, then we cool off, then we rally, then we cool off, and we rally, then we move sideways, and we move down, and then we move up, and then you take profit week 49. So we just went through this period where Bitcoin usually has a significant drop. Then we have a false rally, and then we're kind of down to sideways. What do you think? Helpful? So, to cut to the chase, March to April is not up for Bitcoin. It's usually declining. And so it is. And we are neutral in the macroeconomic, okay, in the macroeconomic analysis. We peak out in March and drop. So we went from risk on to moving to neutral with statistical bearishness. Now we're getting pretty close to, right, we're getting pretty close to a psych level. And somewhere between April and May is an up. So the question is 80 the bottom or 70 to the bottom? Yeah, Maximo. The cool thing is you know when something unusual is happening and you can adjust your risk tolerance. When things are happening and it makes sense, you can adjust your risk tolerance. Sometimes you'll be more tolerant, sometimes you'll be less tolerant of risk. And it should be based on facts, not feelings. Well, don't think of it as down in April. Think of it as bottom out in April and recovery up into May. Don't think up, down, up, down, up, down. Think windows of opportunity, peaks and valleys. It doesn't tell you this month up and that month up, but we know March can come in like a lamb and go out like a lion, right? There's a top and then a bottom. And sometimes it's better to look at it weekly. Okay, so when you look at it weekly, you can filter things and say, are you personally a bull or are you personally a bear? Okay, because what this is telling you is standard deviation of the variance. And week 8, it's usually overbought. And by week 12, it becomes oversold. And then and you really do want like outside of the norm. But usually when you're 2 standard deviations above the mean, price comes down. It's a taking profit. At the very least, it's a taking profit, right? Wait. Oh, sorry. I thought I grabbed it, didn't I? Sorry, thank you for catching that. Bitcoin. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, the data is a little off. Okay. Week 7, at the very least, we know it's 2 standard deviations above the mean, and that's unusually bullish. So for bulls, it might be an opportunity to consider taking some profit. And for bears, start looking for bearish patterns. Okay. Then it tends to drop till about week 12. Okay. Great. Does it ever get basically overbought again? No, it doesn't become overbought until week 42. Now it goes up and down, but as far as deviation, standardized over time, you might say, well, if you're generally a bull, week 3 or 4 might be an opportunity. Then you can take some profit week 7. And you buy it back around week 12, week 13. Okay. Again, they're just windows. Don't say week 12, I'm a buyer. No. But that's typically when a bottom forms. So I think we're either week 13 or week 14. And we're near 80, the psych level. So maybe if it hits 80 and then turns bullish, maybe it represents our week 12. It's just delayed a little bit this year. Another buying opportunity around week 25. Another buying opportunity around week 34. No selling opportunities. Okay. Week 39 may be a buying opportunity. And then finally, if you've accumulated buying statistical dips, not price dips, but statistical dips, then by week 42, you start culling the herd, harvesting some of your profits. There's one last buying opportunity, week 47. By week 49, if you happen to still hold a position, you might once again consider taking. So just like, oh, you can do this for every asset in the world. Yeah, sure, Wayne, but can you do it for Kiwi Cat? Yeah, I can actually. And it's not even a problem. Buy, take profit, buy, take profit, take profit. Or if you're a bear, sell. Oops. So anyways,